Our film is titled Body of War. It's about a young man who went to Iraq, was there only 5 days when he was shot through the spine, in the T4 part of his spine. That's between the shoulder blades. So what we have here is a young man, 24 years old, paralyzed from the nipples down. I met him at Walter Reed, and I just felt that the American people should see him, should meet his family, should see how these injuries are turning families upside down all over America. There are thousands of homes in this country occupied by young men and women who've come home from this war with hideous injuries. And these challenges, these sacrifices are largely unseen by the American people. I was against the war before the invasion. And that put me in a minority, a wonderful minority, which, you know, in real numbers, it was not that small. Millions of Americans opposed this war. And I just happened to have a TV show on MSNBC, and I opposed the war. And corporate media did not want talk shows on their channels hosted by people who were against the war. Being against the war is not good for business. Our program was doing reasonably well. We certainly weren't beating Fox. And I was up against O'Reilly, and he clobbered me. But on MSNBC, we were often the tentpole of the night on our own channel. Not always, but often. So, you know, we felt we were entitled to be nourished and promoted, not canceled. We were canceled for political reasons. A memo was leaked to the New York Times. A memo that had been written by a consulting firm, consulting NBC News. And this memo said Donahue's anti-war stance is not going to work against the flag waving on the other station. We were told that we had to have 2 conservatives for every liberal. I was counted as 2 liberals. So if I had a conservative on, I had to have 2.
Who told you that?
The management that oversaw our program. This was the instruction given to the executive producer of our program at MSNBC. And then, you know, when the anti-war voice kept going, we were pressured to put on entertainment figures. Don't do these political things. Put on somebody from a sitcom. Interview them. Maybe this will get us better ratings. But by all means, stop this complaining about America. I was hired I think the show began late summer of 2002. The invasion was March of 2003, and I was gone in February, before the invasion began. I'm surprised at how naive I was. I really thought, it never occurred to me that I would be dismissed because of my views. I thought people would watch us because we were different. Everybody on mainstream, all major metropolitan newspapers in this country supported this war. That's what you get with corporate media. And I was just kind of surprised at how really ignorant I was that the anti-war voice at this time would be so despised, maybe even feared. It's really a shame that we've lost such a fundamental feature of our democracy. Whole bunch of voices popping off, pushing, pulling, learning from each other. Nah, this is a one-note nation in many ways. We had our dissenters, but they weren't heard. I mean, I think it's important to review the whole point of the First Amendment, free press. I am a journalist. I didn't take a test. I didn't have to pee in a bottle. I just had a recorder with vacuum tubes in it in the late 50s. And I went out and interviewed the mayor for a small radio station. The reason there's no vetting here is because you want to have a lot of people gathering information. If you have a big crowd of people gathering information, it's more likely that somewhere in the center of this large crowd will be found the truth.